Hey there everyone and welcome to another Near Monsters video. We've got 3 clips here from the special rule that we had very recently, where I was using a Link Fire team. The special rule was to use 3 epics in your team, which is why I've got this protector in the front line. I thought I'd test out some of my new Link Fire monsters. I just bought Worm, just got Magmagund from the anniversary. So here we have quite a meta team right now with Abyss Soldier Poseidon. I took down the anti-stan, which means that Poseidon doesn't have the defense buff. Also, he's less inclined to go for the cannibalizing the Spiker's Tornado to get a turn with Poseidon, because he can't link it with anti-stan into giving turn to the Bruiser Axe. That's what his combo was going for. And so yeah, I was able to basically deconstruct what he was putting off. And since he didn't cannibalize the Spiker's Tornado, it's not going to be doing much at all there. Ziberius I can probably kill before it gets its next turn. Shank, there's no point cannibalizing the Spiker's Tornado because he doesn't have a stun counter on the battlefield. So things are going pretty well. So I killed off. I'm umming and erring about whether or not to kill the Shank, but because the sea howls water, I need to hit the other poison monster. So I do that. And now I'll take out the Ziberius. Volkerback was protecting already, so it just absorbed that, and that's all totally cool. So now I can Bloodthirst the Dolphinix, before that can Time Strike double. Here, the Leogeist is not too much of an issue, it needs a bit of time to charge up Crescendo, so I take out Jungle Flipper. He kills off my Volkerback, but who cares? And then I'm thinking, okay, I want to get to Survivor, so I'm going to skip and then use Survivor, which then the following turn it will have Survivor charged. So I take out the Dolphoon. Very nicely, Magiteros is lined up just before Padronorca, so I can kill off the Padronorca. And yeah, this is my Link Fire sweeping just going nuts. It's so fast with the LM Accelerate and Gorga Wing as well. This is 42 seconds killing 2 things. Pretty crazy. So yes, now we're down to the last few monsters that this opponent has. The Tricranium, unfortunately, is sort of behind all these rocks, but I don't care too much. I'm just going to take out the rocks quickly to get it down. And it also means that this Ninja Storm is going to come in straight away, so I can deal with it quite easily. I figure that the Assisted Blaze from Taylor Knight is going to kill them all, so I go for that, and sure enough it does. So yeah, that was pretty good win. These 3 battles, they were actually recorded in a row. I didn't have to record for too long to get matches. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this team. So here we have a similar team. He plans to cannibalize the Voltaurus. An interesting thing here, though, is he's got 2 fire monsters. He had to make Poseidon fire because he's got Ziberius. But I take down Angeline here. It's got Sword Exchange, which can be a bit of an issue as well. And I thought, okay, he's now forced to cannibalize the Voltaurus because otherwise his Poseidon is locked out. And he doesn't cannibalize it. So I was very surprised. I thought, come on, this guy made this team. Surely he knows he has to cannibalize it. He gets to Poseidon and realizes he's locked out, and then just gives up. He realized he messed up at that. So now we move into the 3rd and final battle. This is the really intense one. It was very good. I don't know who exactly this guy is. He's on my friends list. He's probably someone in the community. So at the beginning here, I decided to go for Chronokid on Ryzen. The reason being is I really don't want him to stun my Magmagund. If I killed the Halo Dry there, he'd just stun Retribution it, which would not be good. And the Chronokid also stops him from ever trying to do the Overwatch because it would just be pointless. And now I'm hoping that my Magmagund, when it uses the instant poison gas, it won't poison Ryzen. So then I can still grab a kill on my Worm, because Worm desperately needs a kill for its moveset to work. Unfortunately, though, Ryzen does get poisoned, so my Worm's going to have a bit of trouble this battle. I take out those 2 monsters. He goes for a Toxic Killer on my Magmagund, trying to hit it. Oh no, he skips first. Okay, well, he will go for that. Static Sphere goes for the Taunt first of all. Pretty smart choice, trying to force me to do that. However, the Motor Dragon coming in, I don't get why people will use Motor Dragon with things that counteract it. Here we've got Static Sphere that can kill off the Bronze Shell that it adds. I see a lot of people use it with Timberlord as well. Why do you do that? I really do not get it. It just seems so counterintuitive. So I kill off the Motor Dragon rather than Angel Lion because I don't really have any stun in my team. So Angel Lion is, it's going to be annoying. It's going to kill things, but it's not going to be a huge issue for my team. The Motor Dragon, I'd rather not have those 3 extra Bronze Shells in my team. I was really hoping the protector that I just attacked with was going to bring Static Sphere down enough. It did pathetic damage. It did not bring Static Sphere's health down, so I was not able to finish it off. But I can finish it off here, and this actually, you know, kills off the bronze shell that he added to my team, so what the hell. It's a bit stupid. Anyway, I'm sure the guy, I know him and he's nice, I don't know, but when I see that kind of thing, I always think, like, what are people doing? Motor Dragon's just like, people overrate it so much and they just slam it into teams for value. But anyway, so things don't line up particularly well here, because he's got Chrome Mode just before Flare Burn. I was really hoping the Poison Gas wasn't going to poison Flare Burn so I could shield it and then Chrome Mode wouldn't be able to kill it off. But unfortunately it does, which means he can just purify that poison which I put on him. And, you know, I'm having a really tough time getting through these next monsters. Things are not looking good for me. He can roll Blood Fury anything he wants at this point. However, two of my monsters have Death Revenge stuff that he doesn't particularly want to kill, and Worm isn't doing anything, so he still goes for the Volkerback. So now I hit all, and what I'm planning to do is doing assisted hit all with Worm, because Worm's not much use. And I figure at this point, I think it will kill Tricranium, which means it will die after the Payback Revenge. So the fact it's on high seconds from the doing assisted hit all is not an issue. So and it will take rid of it will get rid of the Angel Lion. So I use Survivor to hit the Desikian. I consider hitting the Tricranium, but I think no. I reckon it will kill it. So I now go for the assisted Blaze All, and it does kill it. So my Kami Worm dies. However, then there's loads of stun. I probably should have predicted this, seeing the Captain K9 there, that he was going to show off power into a shocking entrance, into, you know, more stun setup, but I didn't really think about it at all. So he manages to stun me loads here, and really set himself up well. However, the interesting thing to consider here is he only has 6 monsters left, and of my monsters on the battlefield, 2 of them have Death Revenge. The Captain K9's also going to kill itself off with the Blood Crave. Chroma is almost dead, so I just need a hit with anything to finish that off. And so he gives me a Captain K9. That's not bad. The Death Revenge hits Oak Thulu. That is perfect. That was the one monster I was actually scared of, even though there is the type disadvantage. So I can now kill off that Oak Thulu. He has been killing off lots of my monsters, though. He takes the stun on his Desikian. Smart choice there. And so I kill off the Oak Thulu. The last monster in his team is Niluxov, so I'm not particularly afraid of that. I can't stun him particularly well with my Gadio Dragon, but even so, he decides to skip with Captain K9 to make sure it's a little further back, and he can, you know, kill it off with the Raw Blood Crave into the Super Shell if he wants. He decides to skip first. I skip back. Maybe could have done an attack. I don't know if it would have been better or not. So I go for Maneater. Actually, I think it would have been better, because then it wouldn't have risked my Catmander. But luckily, really luckily, it hit Desikian. I haven't worked it out exactly, but I think if it actually hit any of my legendaries, I would have lost this battle. This battle was super close, and I got lucky with a few things. I got unlucky with my poisoning of monsters and how everything lined up, but I got lucky with this last bit for sure. So this is me finish off the battle. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a video soon.